Imagine a time before airplanes, helicopters, or even hot air balloons. A time when the idea of human flight was nothing more than a myth, a fantasy. Now, imagine a man living in the 15th century who not only dared to dream of flight, but designed machines that could make it a reality. That man was Leonardo da Vinci, a painter, a sculptor, an engineer, an inventor, and perhaps one of the greatest visionaries in human history. That man was Leonardo da Vinci, a painter, a sculptor, an engineer, an inventor, and perhaps one of the greatest visionaries in human history. That man was Leonardo da Vinci, a painter, a sculptor, an engineer, an inventor, and perhaps one of the greatest visionaries in human history. Leonardo knew that flight wasn't just about attaching wings to a man. It required science, mechanics, and innovation. Determined to crack the code of flight, Leonardo designed a revolutionary invention, the ornithopter. This was a flying machine with a wooden frame, large wings covered in fine silk, and a system of pulleys and pedals that allowed the pilot to flap the wings like a bird. His sketches detailed every part of the machine, how the wings should move, how the body should be positioned, and even how wind resistance could be used to sustain flight. His vision was astonishing, centuries ahead of its time. But could it really fly? According to historical speculation, Leonardo may have attempted a test flight, or at least inspired one. The story goes that he and his apprentice, Tommaso Massini, climbed a high hill near Florence carrying the ornithopter. Tommaso, who had volunteered to be the pilot, strapped himself into the machine, gripping the controls tightly. The wind howled as he stood at the edge, fear and excitement battling within him. With a deep breath, he jumped. For a few moments, the wings flapped, and the machine glided through the air. But without a modern understanding of aerodynamics, the flight was short-lived. Tommaso quickly lost control, crashing to the ground with a heavy thud. Though he survived with only minor injuries, the experiment proved that more work was needed. Leonardo was not discouraged. He went back to his notebooks, refining his ideas. Though he never saw a successful flight in his lifetime, his sketches and studies laid the groundwork for the future. Centuries later, his designs inspired real-world aviation pioneers like the Wright brothers, who finally achieved powered flight in 1903. Many of the principles Leonardo theorized, such as air resistance, lift, and wing design, are the very foundation of modern aerodynamics. Today, engineers and historians still marvel at how advanced his thinking was. Leonardo da Vinci's dream of human flight was a bold one. Though he never soared through the skies, his vision and relentless curiosity paved the way for future generations. His story reminds us that progress is built on the dreams of those who dare to imagine the impossible. So the next time you board an airplane, take a moment to remember Leonardo da Vinci, the man who first looked at the sky and saw not a limit, but a possibility.